7 Richest Beggars in the World. Simon Wright. Simon Wright is a professional beggar. The 37-year-old London man spends at least 8 hours each day and extra time on the weekends standing on the street of London begging for money. He dresses in ratty clothes and he walks with his dog. His area of choice is next to a NatWest cash point that is close to a railway station. Each day, thousands of commuters walk by and give him money. He makes about £50,000 per year. Each night he goes home to his £300,000 flat in Fulham. Simon was arrested and was banned from begging under the orders of the magistrate for his antisocial behaviour. Just a week after the magistrate's order, the police found Simon begging in London's Leicester Square. He got arrested again and was sent out on bail. Shamelessly, just after half an hour, he started begging near Coventry Street. Bharat Jain. Beggars are a common sight on the streets of this Indian city, Mumbai. Amongst these beggars who no one would expect to be a millionaire, just by begging on the streets. Bharat Jain became a celebrity when India came to know about his wealth, which was entirely amassed from begging. He earns around 2,500 Indian rupees a day by begging for 8 to 10 hours. The income is thrice that of an average median income. You can meet this celebrity beggar usually at Azad Maidan or Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus in Mumbai. Aisha. Aisha was a 100-year-old woman who spent her days panhandling in the town of Jeddah. She was blind and for years she would sit on the street in tattered clothing begging people for money. People would see this old blind woman on the streets and they would feel bad when she put out her tin cup. The people passing by had no problem putting money in trying to help the homeless woman. When she passed away, it turned out that she wasn't as poor as she wanted everyone to think. When she got sick she gave her will to a friend and asked him not to read it until she had passed. Her will was read and it turned out that she has 3 million Saudi Riyal in cash, which is the equivalent of $800,000. She also had Saudi Riyal 1 million worth of jewelry, which is the equivalent of $226,000. Her assets given to the homeless people that she knew from the streets. Owen Corey. Owen Corey is a 97-year-old man from New York City. For the last 17 years, he has been walking up and down 35th Street in Manhattan panhandling. He hasn't always been a panhandler for years, he had an acting and comedy career. He has even performed alongside legends including Jackie Gleason and Woody Allen. He lives in a house that is worth $3.5 million. It is located in the East Midtown section of Manhattan. When he is collecting money on the streets, he makes between $100 and $250 a day. What makes him different than other beggars in the world is that he gives the money that he collects to a charity in Cuba that buys medical supplies for children. He invests some of his money in newspapers that he sells on the street. Sampaji Kalla. Sampaji Kalla doesn't have a traditional job. He and his family of 4 spend their days begging for money. He lives in Mumbai, where apparently begging can be very profitable. After a day of begging, the family is able to bring home 1,000 rupees. The family has managed to save 40,000 rupees in the bank and they have a few thousand rupees in investment companies. At the end of the day, they retire to either their flat in Virar or one of their other 2 houses. Krishna Kumar Gita. Krishna Kumar Gita is another beggar from Mumbai. He spends his days begging at his favourite spot at CP Tank near the Chani Road. He dresses in rags so that he can appear very poor. However, he makes more money each day than many of the people who give him money. Each day he makes about 1,500 rupees. When he has done panhandling for the day he heads home to the flat that he owns in Nalasopara. Gary Thompson. Gary Thompson is originally from Texas, but he now lives in Lexington, Kentucky. He gets around in a wheelchair, which he says he needs because he has difficulty walking. He even has trouble using his hands. What most people don't know is that he pretends to be mentally and physically handicapped so that he can earn money panhandling. He says that he makes up to $100,000 each year begging.